Good morning. Full screen ahead.
Great morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Ready to kick the day in gear with you guys, and glad to see your face back on the screen, Mr. Nudelberg.
So it is my final huddle for a couple of days, which I'm super happy about. I really want to shout out the gentleman at the bottom right. Man, he is fantastic. That would be Shay.
Nice.
That would be Shay. He orchestrates travel for me in a way that I really am grateful for. So thank you. I mean, I took the train up to Palm Beach. He had rented a Suburban, get in the back seat of the Suburban. 2 hours later, we're at the hotel. We're checked in. It was just really super cool. And the restaurant is just great.
Can I make a joke off it? So
absolutely.
So I drive him to the train station and I pick him up, and he looks at me and goes like, "That was just so efficient." And I was like, "Yeah, because you didn't do it." He was like, "Oh, hell yeah."
It's nice. It's nice when everything gets orchestrated for you.
I really was in my own world and just, everywhere I was. So I am expressing my gratitude. He's been doing it for years. We got up 6:30 in the morning, did rehearsal, and then had the pleasure of being on the stage in front of, I guess it was a couple of hundred people who are part of the organization, Take Stock. Sarah joined us. This was her first on the ball road trip, so I know that she enjoyed it. And there's nothing like being on the stage. Let's call it what it is, man.
Right?
It was really
in front of
really
a bunch
cool.
of people, and got some great feedback. It's awesome, and it looked like it was, people
look at that
were really
line
engaged.
for books. Look at that line for books, man.
It's awesome.
We get dinged every time somebody signs up for our newsletter, and my phone started spazzing like tremendously. Like I'm talking like 30 emails that everybody signed up, and I go, well, I guess he finished, and I guess he went well,
Yeah,
but,
it's
super
awesome.
cool to have them kind of join our community, for you to spread the gospel, and we know it's always fun when it's game time.
So I have a what would you do scenario from this morning.
Great.
So I got up, right? My normal routine. I get up at 4:15. I get out. I start getting ready. I drive to the gym, and I usually get to the gym for a 5:15 class right at like 5:05. And sometimes the people aren't there yet to open the gym. Sometimes they don't get there till 5:10 or whatever. So it's not out of the normal for me to have to wait for people to get there, but it's fine. I get on my phone and do whatever, right? I'm waiting. 5:10 rolls around. Nobody there still. Some other people from the class start showing up, and they're getting out of their cars and walking up to the door. I'm like, I'm not going to the door. I know nobody's here yet. So I'm waiting. People at the door are continuing to fill. 5:15 rolls around. Nobody's there. 5:20 rolls around. Nobody's there. 5:25. Nobody is still there. And I'm like, well, if they're not here now, they're not coming. And by the time I get in there and get my workout started, I got to leave at 6. I'm not even getting a good workout in. So like, I'm done. I'm out of there.
So
I know for sure. I know for sure that the owner of the gym is out of town. He's in California. So it's somebody else. It was the manager. It was somebody else's responsibility to open up and run the show this morning.
It's a miss. I mean,
and they failed.
Right,
so as the business owner, what do you do for those people? What do you do for those people? How do you, because you're not going to get a work, like you're not going to refund me one class, or like I pay the unlimited pass. Like, how are you going to make it right for me? Because you jacked up my morning a little bit,
Right. I would send everybody a $10 Starbucks card and said, hopefully this makes up for our screw up.
Yeah, that's nice. A little coffee in the morning. I like
always
that.
Coffee, and everybody can always use Starbucks. So, whether you even go there or not, you can give it re-gift it. But that's usually, so here's the thing. You got to do something.
you have to do something, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
if
mean,
nothing
to
happens,
ignore
it's
it. Oh, to ignore it is like,
right.
like forget it, man. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
I know there's probably more, but I probably do a personal call to everybody, and be
I
like,
would
hey,
love
like
that.
I'm
wow.
the owner. I wouldn't even give them anything. So I think you have a lot of equity built up when you're a trainer or you're a workout place. Like you've gotten so much
And
enjoyment, so much consistently out of the
Look at
place.
you, Jake.
You're
I'm
already
impressed
have
with that.
well, I am kind
right.
of in the marketplace, I guess, So but like there's so and like you said, one class isn't gonna do
It's
anything.
not like
You
100
just
people either, right? Like it's like 20 people.
it's a personal relationship when you work out in the gym.
It's
And
still
so,
right. You can still do that with 20 people.
hey, I'm calling you and say,
50
hey, I'm out
people,
of town.
100, no way.
This would never happen. This happened. I'll explain it to you. If you're really not happy after the end of the month, I'll be happy to adjust and get you anything you need. And so I
Right.
would
Yeah,
do
I
it
mean,
that way.
even if you gave everybody like a shirt or something, like some F45 swag. Like
So I just want to shout out all the smartasses in our audience. Yes, I wrote a book. Yes, I wrote a book.
I will say,
and I'm going to talk about one of the rules today because when I talk about the book on stage, people buy my book.
I love it.
I do kind of feel for the guy who overslept or if something happened.
Oh yeah, whoever it was.
I hope he's not laying in a ditch somewhere, but like at the same time, I hope that when he woke up, there's a good reason for what happened.
Well, what's kind of funny too is that I go every Monday through Friday, so I know the crew that works on Thursday, and there's always this one trainer who shows up, looks like she had a good time the night before, she's a little dinged up. I'm pretty sure it was her responsibility to open this, and she just
There's no worse.
You know that feeling when you roll over and look at the clock and you go,
no.
So, it's over, Johnny.
Well, let's wake this thing up and let's get to the show, huh?
Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more doctor thinking, time of thinking ahead. Come on.
Okay, so we jumped in the vehicle yesterday. We put a bunch of my books in the car with us. There it is again. Can you see the book? Can you get it? So anyway,
everybody knows you wrote a book.
Part of my presentation, yes, it wasn't about the rules of engagement, but I was talking about mindset mindset and process. And for me, it's always about process. My book is about my process. I don't need you to agree with it. I need you to sort of use it as a gauge against things that you're doing or things that are working. And inevitably, the number one rule, it's rule number 21 in the book, but inevitably it is today's motivational music. Shay, play the music and I'll tell you why the rule works.
Tell me something good.
Tell me that you love me, yeah.
Tell me something good.
Oh, baby, yeah. Tell me that you like it, yeah.
Tell me something good.
Oh, tell me, baby, tell me that you love me, yeah.
Tell me something good.
Oh, tell me that you like it, yeah.
So that is a great song. That should stay with people. You have a thought?
Well, yeah. So you hit on something that you said, like, I'm not going to argue about it. This is my process. It works
I
for
don't need
me.
you to tell me,
You. So I added a slide to the beginning of my presentation now that is, I just put up the word should, right? And I'm like, I'm not telling you what you should do because I can't tell you that. I'm telling you what I know works for me. and has worked for other people, you can decide whether or not that's something that you think you should do. But I'm not up here telling you what you should or shouldn't do. You have to decide that for yourself.
I think that's the problem with coaching in general, is that people are just, shooting all over the
You
place.
should. How
Quit
do you know what I should
shooting
do?
on me. Quit shooting on me, man. Okay. So anyway, the point of the song, the point of it for, learning purposes was, if you are going out there today and you are asking people, how are you? Or, hey, how you doing? Most people are programmed negative. And they're going to come back with some bullshit that's happening in their life. My house, my car, for us, our air is out today. It's like, it's everybody's programmed negative. Well, when people are already thinking negative and you want to have a positive conversation with them about growth or about anything, you're already starting behind the 8 ball. So people love this if you are willing to change, not you should, boom. If you are willing to change that behavior, instead of saying, how are you? Hey, boys, tell me something good. Mark, tell me something good.
Well, I got to spend some great time with Jules this morning, and he is saying the word yes and shaking his head like this really, really well. It's awesome.
Awesome. I love it. Jake, tell me something good.
Going to Dolphins training camp tomorrow. Get to see football in live action. I'm jonesing. It's totally itching. I'm even considering going to a preseason game now. So it's
There's
freaking
football
me out.
tonight.
There's right.
Football on TV tonight.
So the greatest thing of all is that changes people's moods. And Nicholas Mao, who I totally admire and love his perspective, it's pattern interruption. It throws people off. And when you interrupt them, it's like, wait a minute, you're different.
I think that's the two things. It's not only that you get a good response from them, but it's that you stump them. Like, that's always my favorite part. It's that the lack of ability of people to say something good in their life, like, or that we usually ask it in a work, environment, and they're so programmed to only answer with work answers, where they aren't even willing to go to their personal life if something great that's happening out. They're like, well, did we have a new schedule, or like something that's not even really good. So it's really funny to watch.
There's somebody that I'm working with that struggles mentally, like really struggles to change their perspective to a positive viewpoint. And every call I start, hey, tell me something good. I don't know, nothing. I'm like, come on, you got to give me something, something good is going on. Something good is going on. Like, I'll get like, I woke up today, so I guess that's good, And so it's actual work for me to get that person to a place where we can have a productive call. But if I don't do that in the beginning, there's no shot that anything good happens for the next 30 to 45 minutes. So I have to do that. That's my responsibility to them to get them there.
So Kristen Lawler, who Nicholas is also the luckiest man on the planet, or the guy that outkicked the coverage. She talks about, they do it at the dinner table. I told everybody in that audience, and this is an organization that deals with kids, I say, this is something you should educate. You could, not should, educate kids on, because you're changing their behavior. You can change it once. So we're all old habit, and it's always negative. Always. It's unbelievable. I would go to conferences. I would do this. I would get in the elevator, and the people I just told this to, right, would say to someone, hey, how you doing? I'm like, dude, you're setting yourself up, And so when you push people to give you that positive, whatever positive is going on in their life, you change the direction of their day because you change their focus, and you own that piece of content about them forever.
Yep. So, I mean, you've been a part of our dinner table, like Nick Mao, like great minds think alike. I don't ask Kai to, tell me something good. I ask him to tell me what his favorite part of the day was. And we do it as a family. Everybody takes a turn saying what their favorite part of the day was, because it doesn't matter if it was a shit day and so many different things went wrong. It's your responsibility to find one thing that was your favorite part of the day and share that with the family. And that's my practice with Kai. And there's sometimes Kai's like, well, the whole day was my favorite. And I'm like, nah, doesn't work. Like, you got to tell me something. I got to know one thing from the day. Well, I can't pick just one. Can I pick two? Yeah, fine. That's fine. Pick two.
Good,
Give me two of them, right? But like that practice is something that is just a mindset shift and a habit that I think if we can instill it in kids, it's a huge benefit to them.
I mean, we get stuck in these habits and it's just like second nature. So, to me, it's like, it's not easy to change the behavior. Tell me something good could be a little awkward. People are like, well, what do you mean? But I use it in when I follow up with people who I haven't spoken to in 3 months or 6 months. I just send them the GIF of Shaka Khan and Michelle, who is our music guru here. Just so you know, when I do it in a live audience, I always ask, the music stops and I always ask, I go, tell me who sang that. I get like Aretha Franklin. No, it's not. Just somebody nailed it yesterday. They got they got Shaka Khan, and then I'm going to throw it out to everybody here today. What group was it? Do you know?
No, I know.
Do you know? Do you know? No,
I know Shaka Khan. I got no idea who the group was called.
Shaka Khan was part of a major group. Rufus.
Michelle always comes through with the answer.
So it's interesting because the same lady in the audience got them both. So I said, now you have a book to give to somebody. So
that's awesome.
Anyway, cool stuff about the book. We have another segment planned, but I don't think we should do it. I won't give it justice in a couple of minutes. I'll save it. Jake had found an article about, unless Jake, you want to launch into it real fast.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I really want to address this because I think this is a really interesting question. We're about to see guys play tonight that will probably play their last snap of football of their entire life. The starters will not play a lot tonight. And I think tonight is a unique opportunity and a lesson for all of us is you don't really know when your opportunity is coming. And a lot of the guys who have played tonight have not taken the practice reps. They have not been getting all the practice reps. And so it's about the preparation that you're doing, having no clue when that opportunity is going to come. And if you're not preparing like a starter or like a guy who's going to make the team, you're going to look like a buffoon out there. And so the ones that look awful tonight, we're not doing the mental reps. We're not watching extra film, not doing what it takes to be the best that they can be, having no clue when they're actually going to take a rep. But that one rep could be the difference. And so if you don't know, you're like,
which is a mindset.
Right. If you want a job somewhere, if you want to be skilled at something, it's about taking it upon yourself to go learn, to take the extra time away from the company. So when there is an opportunity for someone to see you, you take that opportunity and you do it damn well.
So it's interesting because Jonathan Aarons says, is it really football? I think tonight is not football. I mean, it is.
If you love football, it is. Like, if you love football, it is. Like,
just to see him dress up and get out there
but what Jake is talking about is that guys that have been playing this game for their entire lives that are on the cusp of building a career or having a career at the highest level, and it's make or break moment for them. They're either going to excel and they're going to continue to add a little bit more value and try to earn their way onto the final roster, or they're going to flop tonight and they'll be out. They'll get waived on Monday and it's over for them. And knowing that that's what's happening behind the scenes, to me, it's still football. They're still lining up. They're still playing 11 on 11. And you got guys that are battling for their dream. I don't need to see Dan Marino throwing passes out there tonight. I am fine watching whatever level of football it is, because I promise you it's also going to be like better than the XFL. So,
which I don't think you have to go far. It's like I think it's unwatchable. The expectation.
No knock against the XFL, but like this is the weeding out process, and I love the fact that they've given guys who don't make it in the NFL an opportunity to have a career around football. But you can see the difference in the level of execution, not even talent, just the level of execution. And that's what you're going to see tonight. Is you're going to find out who can execute on an NFL level and who can't. And that's cool to me.
Well, it's also a full-on dress rehearsal. It is traveling to a game. It's staying in a hotel. The routine was, but I remember coming to visit both of you guys, and you were like, I have 4 minutes between these two meetings to say hello to you. Right. It was like, so, they haven't done that for a while.
Yep.
Now it's showtime. Let's go. We pregame, postgame, all of those, for the equipment guys, the setup, so it is a production. There's no doubt about it. It is a production all the time, and people will be on stage tonight, so it is. For me, I'm a Jet fan. I don't care. I want to see the Jets anytime I can.
And
but
I think the best part of this weekend is Hall of Fame week, and you're going to hear speeches and you're going to hear stories from players who dedicated their entire life to their craft. And there will be lessons and nuggets that come away from all of it because success leaves clues. And I'm always fascinated with those speeches, hearing how emotional they get. Like, you want to talk about buy-in and give and caring, like them standing on stage, that's why they did it all. And it's not because of the jacket, but it was because of the stories and because of the people that they did it with and the lessons that they learned and the lessons that they then passed down to the next generation. And so I just think there's so many nuggets that we get to learn from it. And it's cool that we get our own, Zach Thomas, we were fortunate to be around.
So he is actually up first. He'll be the first one inducted. And they interviewed him, and he's been training not to cry during his thing because it's so emotional. And my bet is no shot.
Yeah, he's
crying.
Right. He's crying.
No shot.
I don't know how. I mean, you can practice and you can prepare, but when that moment is on you and then you got to talk about it, I don't know how you hide that. I don't know how you hold that emotion back. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, it is. But it's, especially with your friends and your family. And to your point, the sacrifices he made to his mind and body and
the guy and the people you're surrounded yourself with. Like when you're on stage with other people that are being looked at as the best of the best to ever do it. Like, what an incredible moment. So I think this is a great conversation, Jake. I think we should continue the football conversation tomorrow.
Well, I was hoping you guys in my absence would just we're back to football.
So I think we pause Huddler in the hot seat, or we put you and I in the hot seat. We make it a football Friday.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
We do that.
Okay.
I mean, we have a couple of great guests coming up over the next couple of weeks. Our friends, Rob Vaca and, Brankus will be here, and those are college
Juan
football.
Russell will be here from his foundation. Robin Raphael from RCC will be here. Got lots of great guests lined up. But I think tomorrow we make it a football Friday, since football will be officially started. We'll get to talk about all the parallels between sports and football. We'll get to audience questions. Like, bring them. If you've got anything that you ever want to know about the football industry, the football world, or you just want to talk about the parallels between sports and business, let's go. Bring them on.
I know you guys have toyed with this idea, and it looks like there's a lot of emotion about it. Do a football show. Do a separate outside of the huddle. Do a football question and answer show in our spare time.
I've tried to sell Jake on that idea for years.
Once on the ball's on cruise control, we'll start a football show. How about that? That's our dream.
Look at Jake being disciplined. Look at Jake. I love it, man. Well, I bid you a fond farewell. I will be off. I'll be back on Wednesday morning. With all things, hopefully, taking the right course. But thank you for taking over the huddle, and
we'll see you guys tomorrow. You travel safely, sir. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.